Hey guys, welcome to today's episode all about buying a used RV.
We are indeed talking about buying a used RV.
Yeah, we're not talking about buying a used RV because we're buying a used RV. We already bought one. We got it. Done. Check.
We did it.
We did it.
This is our new home, guys.
This is Bessie.
Excited. Actually, we'll give you a quick synopsis. We ended up buying our motorhome. Her name is Bessie. We bought her from private sale.
Yes.
Through, I think it was Kijiji.
It was.
Facebook Marketplace. It was Kijiji.
Yep.
And that's how we ended up getting Bessie. But there are lots of different ways to buy a used RV, different places to look.
And there's thousands of rigs that you can possibly buy.
That is indeed true. So one place you can look is at an auction.
Yep.
And we did go look at an auction when we were shopping for a used RV.
Hey, we're in a Class B. Just wanted to share it with you. So there's the front end. And on the side here, you have your burner, you have your fridge, you have your microwave down there. It's cute in here.
Whew. It needs a new floor, but man, I love this kitchen. This is a gorgeous kitchen.
And we'll link that video up here because it's kind of interesting. You'll see a lot of different scary looking RVs at the auction.
And they all went for more price than they should have.
Oh my gosh. They were overbidding for all of that.
Yeah.
So an auction is one place. Where's another place?
Well, private sale.
Okay, sounds good. And we will put some links in the bottom in the description below as well, so you can check out different resources and such, because there are lots of different places where you can look for
You
things.
can also look in estate sales.
Yeah.
You can inquire with your friends. Hey, anybody know, that kind of thing.
Also, I'm thinking if you are in the States, there is PPL Motorhomes, and
brokers.
The RV USA radio show
Yes.
promotes them. They have a sponsorship deal with them. So check out PPL Motorhomes as well if you're looking for a big sort of, is that like a broker or like a
network?
Like a network for buying and used RVs. So yeah, we'll put a bunch of links below. Of course, if you're in Canada, you can buy an RV in the States and import it into Canada. So there's a lot of paperwork involved with that. Tell us, Kent, really quick, the story that our friend told us about bringing his motorhome. Do you remember the details on that?
Yes, he was from Saskatchewan, and he found his motorhome in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
And he drove down to pick it up, and he was going to restore it. So it was not in great shape. Mm-hmm. The roof was gone, really.
Yeah.
And so he brought it back, and he says, be sure when you get to the border that you stop at the U.S. Customs first, so that you tell them you are exporting a product that was on their registry. And then when you get to Canadian side, then you say, oh yes, I've already been to the U.S. side, because if not, they turn your back around and it's going to cost you $1,500.
So definitely do your research and find out exactly what you need to do, what paperwork you need to have, what insurance you need to have, where to stop, which border crossings, all that stuff.
And even that is not bulletproof, because you get there and they say, oh no, where's this? And you're like, hey, nobody told me about this. Well, so
double and triple
be prepared.
check. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's one way you can get one. Another one, some people will inherit a motorhome or their friends will have one for sale.
Yeah.
We met one couple who traded work for an RV for a trailer. So
we almost bought one from a storage yard. I don't think it's a 91.
Okay.
I think it's older than that.
It looks older than that.
It does look older than that, by far. Like what I saw online, the 91s look a lot different than this.
All right, well, let's go take a peek.
2 pieces instead of 1 for windshield.
So guys, here's the deal.
Oh yeah, guess what? It says right on it.
81.
Yeah.
Whew.
Don't believe what you're told.
Storage. Oh, we did. We looked
because
at
they
storage.
stopped paying the storage fees for whatever reason, because it sat there for too long. And all of a sudden they're like, I got to get rid of these units.
Yeah, so check that out. It can be a good place to get something for super duper cheap, and probably not the best quality, but
because if somebody's walked away with it from it, that's probably not high quality. But guess what? If you're going to put some money into it, shine it all up, hey, it might be perfect.
So speaking of that, of what to look for in a used RV, we brought in some experts to help us out with this video.
That's right.
Those experts are Jim and Dawna. They are my mom and dad.
Yes.
They live full-time in their trailer, and we did an interview with them yesterday, and here it is.
Hey guys, we have a topic to bring to you about used RVs. It's a very important topic because so many of you are looking for an RV, and a used RV just might be in your budget, but how do you get one that fits you and get the right price that works.
And not end up with a piece of garbage.
That's right.
So we brought the experts in. This is Mom and Dad. You can just call them Mom and Dad.
I'm the dad.
I'm the mom.
I'm Jim.
I'm Dawna.
And they have years and years of RV experience. So you guys go ahead and tell us some of your RV experience. What have you done in the past?
Well, we started out with a non-RV. They're commonly called tents. They're usually made out of canvas, nowadays out of nylon. And we tented when the kids were little and moved up from the tent to a tent trailer. That was great, getting off the ground and sleeping in beds.
Yes.
And adding a porta
And
potty.
adding a porta
That
potty.
was wonderful.
Yay for the porta potty.
Hey.
Absolutely.
And heat.
And heat,
heat,
yes.
yeah.
And a little fridge.
And then we moved from that to a little single axle trailer that was gifted to us, and other things, a fifth wheel along after that. And now we live full time in a 2012 27-foot Cougar,
Yes.
and that's our home.
Excellent.
Travel trailer, right? I
Yay.
keep forgetting Cougar travel trailer.
We've had that for 7 years now. We've full time for 3 years.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
3.5
And
years.
as you know, Mom and Dad full timed before it was even on our radar.
That's right.
And yes, we thought they were crazy.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
Dad, you've been in
exactly.
the industry before also, right?
I have, yes. For several years, I sold RVs at 3 different dealerships, as well as purchasing my own. So I have some ideas on what we should be doing.
Excellent. Well, my first question to you is, should somebody consider an RV dealership as a place to buy a used RV?
Well, it's probably a good idea for most people because you're going to go on there, you're going to get exposure to a lot of different styles, a lot of different types, different brand names, different prices, and you get an education by doing that, which you might not get by just going through something off the internet or something like that. And,
Right.
Yeah.
and you get a wealth of experience that you can ask people questions, and hopefully they'll give you the answers that'll help you to make a decision on what you really need to have,
Yeah.
And walking into an RV, seeing what's there can raise other questions in your mind and help you to formulate some kind of plan for what you would like to have.
So it gives you a good education.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
And salesmen are there to help you. I know sometimes they can tend to get a bad rep, but really they are there. They're trained to help you hone down what you're looking for. So if you go in there and say, I want a tent trailer, you might not want a tent trailer. You might need to have someone tell you, you actually should get a hybrid trailer or something, different than what you initially were thinking of. So
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
another advantage of going into an RV lot, if it's a reputable dealership, you can expect to get some kind of support, even on a used unit, so that you can leave there fairly confident that the unit's going to meet your expectations and that everything works.
Right.
And that's something that you need to be assured of through a process called a walkthrough at the end before you actually take ownership of the trailer. You can make sure everything works. You need to really push for that to make sure you get that every appliance works, all the water systems work,
Yeah.
batteries, electrical, it's all in good condition, everything to do with towing is safe, and then that will give you that assurance at a dealership, usually.
Yeah, and usually they'll give you a walkthrough on all of your systems on how to use them.
Yes, a good
Yeah.
walkthrough should
Yeah.
last about a minimum of half an hour, probably up to an hour and a half.
Okay.
Awesome. And I've actually heard other people's advice too when you're doing that walkthrough to film it. So bring your, even
Yeah.
if it's just on your phone or whatever,
Yeah.
because there's so many details,
Yeah.
you might not remember those. Whereas
Yeah.
if you can go back and watch that again on a video, then that's useful as
Yeah,
well.
for sure.
A picture's worth 1,000 words and a video's worth so much more. But anyways, what I've got to say also is, should you become brand specific? Does that help you, or does that take away a lot of options? Or like some people will say, I know that this brand is a good quality brand,
Yes,
so I don't want
yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
Is that helpful?
It is helpful. A lot of that depends on your budget, and probably in former years it was more helpful because units were often tiered. So like Fleetwood would have several different levels of quality and
Yes.
price, and you could be comfortable with whatever you're going into, determining
Right.
what you could afford, and all that stuff.
Yes.
So today I'm not so sure. I mean, there are premium brands which are way up there,
Yeah.
which you're more than likely to assured to have at least support. But you can have problems with any new RV, regardless of who makes it.
Yeah.
So you got to be aware of that in today's world, where they pump out so many of these new units, that you want to make sure that the walkthrough again is very, very good, and that you have an assurance that when you need support and service, you can get it. And having said that, then the higher priced, well-known brands are good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So when you say support and service, is that like a warranty? Because I know with a brand new RV, you're going to get like an actual warranty. But with used RVs, can you get warranties, or is it different than that?
You might want to ask that question when you're looking at a newer used RV.
Okay.
You might want to ask if there's any warranty left on this unit.
Right.
And if there isn't, then when you finish the deal and go in to see the finance person, an insurance person, or whatever they want to call it at that dealership, they generally will offer you an option of an extended warranty.
Okay.
Now it's up to you
Okay.
to decide whether that's worth it for you. You have to think about, okay, if a fridge fails, what's that going to cost me?
Right.
Probably $1,500 to $2,000 maybe. And what is my warranty going to cover over 3 years or whatever it is? So you have to make that decision if you're prepared to assume those responsibilities, those financial obligations yourself. Then you really don't need the warranty. The 1 year on a new rig is going to should cover everything, but be careful that it covers things like structure and delamination and things like that. You want to have that coverage.
Yeah, for sure. So that's a good segue then into
Yeah.
our next question is, if you're going to not buy from a lot or from a dealership, and you're going to buy, say, from Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace, or, you know, maybe you're going to inherit a trailer from someone, or you're going to, you know, a friend has one for sale, what kind of things should we be looking for to make sure that you're not going to get something that is beyond repair? So, you know, if it has an ugly couch, well, you can take the couch out and put a new one in, right? But
Right.
what we're looking for is what kind of things are going to be like the big red flags.
Well, I think the big thing to watch for, whether it's in a trailer or a motorhome or any kind of RV, is water damage, because water damage can travel a long way and get in underneath the wood and underneath the flooring and behind the wall and cause things to swell and to break, and then you have musty, moldy smells. Water damage, I think, is a huge thing.
That
to
also
look out
gets
for.
into mold too.
Yeah, and you
that's a
can.
health risk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can tell that when you walk into an RV. Sometimes you will smell that musty smell. It might just be because it's been stored for so long.
Yeah.
But if you do smell that, you want to be on guard against that. Open up overhead cupboard bins and look behind in there at the ceiling and the joints and see if there's any evidence of the wall surface starting to come apart, or the covering on the wall, like the wallpaper, if you want, that would be separating. Stains where there's maybe been leaks in the roof. That's a red flag. If you look outside the unit, you can look down the side of a rig that's got fiberglass, and you can see where there's maybe some waves that there shouldn't be. And Kent has a picture of one that we almost purchased, actually.
Right.
We went there, we saw this unit. It was only maybe a year or two old, and we actually signed for it. You know, you'd think I'd know better. And when we went home, and I looked at the pictures that we took on our phone, and you should do this. You should take pictures of the rig inside and out.
Lots of pictures.
So when you get home, you can discuss it and all the good and bad things about it. When I looked at the picture, I looked at the front of it. It looked like the bottom under the window, under the front, was smiling. And I thought, what is that? Is that just the sunlight?
It's a happy trailer.
Yeah, it's a happy trailer, right? Yeah, happy days. Right? So when we went back to take possession of it, I said to the guy, we might have a problem here. And during the walkthrough, I want you to check this out. And sure enough, the service guy came out. It was water damage that we didn't catch the first time. So make sure you're really diligent about that. That's a big deal. Once you walk off the lot with that used trailer, you're done as far as delamination goes. It's your responsibility, and it's very expensive to fix.
Yeah, or even if you're getting that from a private sale as
Yes,
well. I mean,
exactly.
that's once it's yours, it's yours.
Yeah.
It's,
That's right.
You're stuck with
Yeah.
that. And
Private sale. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, and is that even fixable? Is delamination or water damage fixable?
It is fixable.
Okay.
It goes up exponentially in price depending on how severe it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So at some point, it's not worth it.
Right,
And
true.
really,
Yeah.
if you can avoid having it at all, I would walk away from any trailer that has that kind of damage.
So
that would be a make or break.
It would be a make or break thing.
can you
absolutely.
explain
Good
what
to know.
delamination is?
Well, you can.
Well, it was interesting because when we looked at the trailer that we nearly bought, I said to the salesman, I said, "Is this delamination?" And they assured me that it wasn't. But then we talked to a couple of other people, and then one of the other gentlemen came in and he said, "Yes, it definitely is." And there had been a water leak inside the closet at the head of the bed, which caused the glue to separate from the plywood and the outside
fiberglass,
fiberglass shell. So that's what, because when you think of things being laminated together, you've got the plywood and the outer shell, and it's laminated together with glue. Well, delamination is when it all starts to separate.
Yeah.
It's delaminated, and then you have to, there's all kinds of very complex ways of trying to get the glue back in there to glue it back together. But it's a very labor-intensive and very expensive process, from what I understand. So,
and I think it's a sign of damage, right?
Yeah.
So it's a sign that there's been water damage, or whatever problem has been caused there.
Yeah.
So it's
And
one of those things.
if it's not structural, if it doesn't affect the structure of the rig, and the price is really good, you might want to consider getting that if you don't mind that, and it's not going to go any farther because the leak's been fixed. That's possible.
Right.
yeah.
The other thing to think about when you're buying a rig used like that is, if you can, get an expert to look at it. Pay somebody, if it's worthwhile, pay someone to come out, a technician, and do an inspection for you.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
It
awesome.
might
advice.
cost a couple of $100 for it,
Yeah.
but he goes over a system, he looks for delamination, structural deficiencies, tires, axles, braking
Yeah.
systems, maybe powertrain in the case of a motorhome. So that's stuff that's well worth the money.
So, Dad, you came with us when we went on the lot to look at the auction,
Right.
to see all of the items that we could possibly budget for before. Now, you guys were all busy on the day of the auction, so I went there with my daughter, and there was a lot of those units had significant and obvious damage.
Yes.
And is that where the dealers send the units that they don't want to repair?
Well, generally speaking, that would be the case because they'll take something in trade that maybe they feel is too old for them to offer to their customers on their lot for whatever reason, right? So you won't see a lot of those units on the lot because of that. They don't want to have really old units or structural defects or whatever. They will send them to auction, and then it's up to you if you want to take and spend the money to get one of those and fix it up or live with it the way it is. You can get some really good deals there, but quite often I think you can discover that you go there and you think, oh, I can get this rig for $3,000, but at auction it might go for $4,500.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or more.
Yeah.
That's what happened to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody might buy that has the wherewithal to fix it,
Yeah.
and they will put in a couple of grand and they'll sell it for 10.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they'll piece it out.
Yeah.
Or they'll
Yeah,
piece it
and
up.
actually that's something to watch for. If you're going to be buying an RV in the private market, make sure you're buying it from somebody who actually owned that RV or
Yeah.
lived in it or traveled in it, had
Yeah.
vacations in it,
Yeah.
because you don't want to be the person who buys it from that guy who bought it from the auction, puts Febreze everywhere,
Right,
right.
and closes all the cupboards so you can't actually look in the back corner.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't smell the mold because he put Febreze everywhere.
Or
and
painted
now,
or whatever.
and now you're gonna buy
Yeah.
this rig that really shouldn't have
Yeah.
happened
I've
that way.
seen
So
that.
be careful. We've seen that happen.
People
so
will buy
be
a
very
rig
careful.
for, let's say, $4,000, sell it privately through the paper for $6,000, and they owned it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
Yes.
always a story to go with it.
So
oh,
there's
that was
always-
my mother-in-law's, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
she
So
couldn't
it's-
use it anymore.
It,
blah, blah, blah,
it
blah.
certainly is a buyer beware market. You know,
Yes,
you
for
do,
sure.
Do
Yeah.
your research and go into it with your eyes wide open, and don't let the pretty things
But we like
confuse-
pretty things.
You know, so if you walk in and you really like the color scheme, or the curtains are really,
Yeah.
really pretty, or they put a lovely new bedspread on.
Or maybe they already painted all
Yeah,
white.
yeah,
or
and it's like,
whatever.
well, this is beautiful, and it smells really nice, and look, hon, it's got the really nice a faucet or fixtures in
Yeah.
the bathroom or whatever. Don't let that
That focus.
Yeah.
take the focus away on what the really important thing is, because
Structure.
pretty is as pretty does.
That's right.
That's right.
You got
I
it.
mean,
You
it
got
might
that.
be the best looking unit, but when you're walking along and there's soft spots on the floor, think, okay, what's that going to cost, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
if there are not much soft spots, it might be fine.
Yeah.
It might just be a sign of wear. But if it's water damage in there, again, problem.
Yeah.
So if you're walking along the floor and you go up to your ankle,
If you end up Fred Flintstone and you can walk along the ground,
you probably shouldn't buy that one. There's
Don't
been
get that
dry
one.
rot under there, and you
And,
fall
and
into
honestly,
the floor.
if you're looking in the right places, you're going to find it. I went to the corners of all of those in those RV on that RV auction lot, and you could push, and you could feel if it was strong, or you could feel if there was lots of movement. And it's like when there's lots of movement, you know that there's a problem there.
And if it crinkles when you
Yes.
push on it.
I did want to ask you if you can't, because you were saying if you go to a lot, an RV lot, and they have used RVs, they'll do the walkthrough. They'll start it up for you. They'll get the water pumps running and the furnace running and the
They'll
hot
bring
water,
batteries over if they
all
need
that
to.
kind of stuff. But if you're buying an RV from, say, Facebook Marketplace, and you're going to someone's yard, they might not be able to plug it in. You might not be able to start up the systems. Is there any way or any things that we should be looking for to see if they're working? Like to see anything that would be an obvious, don't get this. You know what I mean? Other than the water damage. I'm talking about like the electrical systems, the water system, the tanks, that
Go
kind
up
of
on the
thing.
roof and look at the roof.
Oh
Make
yeah,
sure
the
there's
roof.
tears.
The
You can
roof.
go up on
Yeah.
the roof, and if it's a walk-on roof, then you can check that out too. As far as the electrical and stuff goes, if it's been stored for somewhere and the batteries are dead, there's not much you can do because you have no way of testing that right now.
Yeah.
If you have a tow vehicle with you, you're driving a vehicle, you can sometimes plug the
Okay.
cord into your tow vehicle, start your tow vehicle. That will provide power to the unit, so you can check the water pump, you can check all the 12-volt appliances. You will not be able to check anything that's 110 volt.
Okay.
Yeah, and if
but
it's
that's
already-
good advice though,
Yeah.
to actually hook it up and
And if
make
it's
it work.
winterized, you can't test all the water systems.
Right.
I know.
No.
Right.
So
So-
is that just a risk you just take, or is there things you should look for to say this probably is cracked or not working?
Well,
or...
yeah, you can't. Like, if it's winterized, and if the guy's winterized it properly, there's not much you can do, right?
Yeah.
You can see, it's obvious if someone's winterized, you'll see the residue from the RV antifreeze in there, and you hope that the guy did a good job.
Yeah.
But you're really, unless you have some ironclad guarantee that I'm going to go and de-winterize this, and if it doesn't work, I'm bringing it back, which is very rare.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would
It's
be-
kind of like, do I trust this guy or don't I?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Because,
so sometimes it comes down to a
know,
relationship.
yeah,
It
and sometimes
does,
that
yeah.
can happen. Even if you winterized, you might still have a line that's cracked, and
Yeah.
you won't know it till it's springtime.
Yeah.
And I guess if you choose to trust the seller and you do buy the rig, make sure that your first trip out is really close to home.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
very
that's a
good
good point.
advice.
So
Yeah.
that
In your
so
driveway,
that maybe
preferably.
even
In your
in your
driveway,
driveway,
yeah.
Yeah.
spend a night or two right in your driveway to see if if it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's awesome.
Or if you do take it somewhere, make it close.
And,
Last-
and trust your gut. I think
Yeah.
that's part
Yeah.
of it too. Like
Yeah.
if you're getting a weird feeling, just be like, nope, we're not.
Oh
we're
yeah,
not
if there's any
going with
doubt,
this one.
walk away.
Yeah.
Don't even
Or
think
if-
about it, just walk away.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
if they tell you, well, this is a one-time deal only, if you don't buy it today,
Special
you can't
deal
have
today.
it, then you don't want it.
If your sales guy says, you know what, I got a deal on this waiting, but you can be second in line, just put a deposit down, walk away. Don't ever buy it like that, because that's just telling you, okay, I don't think I would trust that guy.
Yeah.
It may be true, chances are it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the one piece of advice on buying an RV, whether it's a motorhome or a trailer or whatever, is don't make the deal make or break depending on the tires. Because in my opinion, the tires are something that really you can separate from the whole deal.
Yeah.
Because when I bought my motorhome, I knew I had to replace the back 4 tires.
Yep.
And I know buying right off the lot even brand new, sometimes they're like, those are not good tires.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the tires are not good, that doesn't have to determine whether you're buying it or not.
That's not a make or break.
Right.
It's not a make or
Water
break.
damage is a make or break.
Because
tires is not.
In a lot of cases, the tires are almost subpar for actually traveling at higher speeds
Yeah.
on a lot of the stuff that's even new.
Yeah.
So you might just want to upgrade your tires no matter what.
Yeah, and if they're getting close to the 5-year, 6-year time frame, they need replacing anyway.
Yeah.
Like we bought our rig, it was a year old. We bought it in 2013. We replaced those tires 5 years later.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the other thing is if you're going to sell your rig, make sure you keep all of your brochures
Yes.
and all of
And
your
your repair.
Yeah.
manuals or dates when you
And use
have
lots of
things fixed.
Febreze.
Bounce sheets everywhere.
And be honest, right?
Clean up the mouse traps and things like that. Right? So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
make sure the ants are all gone.
That's right.
Yeah.
No more
Yeah.
ants. Yeah, for
Aunts
sure.
or aunties, both have to leave.
Both are gone. That's right. That's right. No
Hey, well-
moldy cheese.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk with us about this.
Yeah.
This is an important topic for a lot of people.
Yeah.
it is.
Because it makes
really
the difference. We know friends of ours, Rick and Margaret, that got an RV, got it delivered. They hadn't even seen it. They got it delivered to Washington, and when they got it, they realized they had to do more work
They
on
had
it
to
than they
completely gut it and redo the whole inside.
Yeah.
It was way worse. And the guy, who sold them said, "Oh, it's basically brand new. It's in wonderful
Yeah.
condition."
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. So that would actually probably be good advice. Don't buy an RV sight unseen.
Yeah.
If you're buying something like through a bank or something that's a repossession,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's going to be as is.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the price might be okay, right?
Yeah.
So you might be paying way under market value, and you can afford to put some
Correct.
of those dollars back into it,
Yeah.
which was okay, right?
So if you
that's-
get a really
that's
good
okay.
deal and there's work to do,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. So basically, like you said, Mom, buyer beware. Know what you're getting into, and then
And
how much
always
it's gonna cost.
sleep on it at least one night.
Oh yes, yes. We have family members who have bought RVs and then said we shouldn't have bought this
Why
right
did we
away.
do
We
this?
gotta go. Yeah,
So, you
sleep
know,
on it.
Take a day or two to
Yes.
think about
Yeah.
it.
And
It's not
if
that
you're
urgent.
sharing your life with somebody, be on the same page as well. I
Absolutely.
think that would be a good piece of advice as well. So, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and for Jim and Dawna, aka Mom and Dad, to hang out with us and share their wisdom and their advice. Thank you guys so much for
You're
hanging
welcome.
out. And
Thanks
it
for
was
asking
fun.
us.
And we'll have them on our channel again soon. We're gonna
Yeah.
actually be talking about work camping with these guys.
So that's about it, you guys. That covers a whole bunch of information on buying a used RV. If you have more advice for this community, go ahead and leave that advice in the comments below, because you guys are amazing at sharing your experiences
Yes.
and your tales with each other, and we all learn from that. So that's fantastic. And we always miss something in every video.
We miss a ton.
Like
We're not experts.
Exactly. So anyway, so go ahead and leave that in the comments below. My name is Lisa.
And my name is Kent, and we're Living Light RV.
We are grabbing life by the tail. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you guys next Thursday. Take care.
Yeah, and if you enjoy what you're seeing, follow along on this series down here.
Yes.
Because this is the series that will show you all about RV life.
It's called How to RV Full Time.
Yes.
That's the name of the series.
And there's that series, which is all about RV stuff. Yeah, what is this, and do I need it?
Kent's,
There you go.
Kent's handling
That one.
all of that, and it's really fun to watch his take on all of the little gadgets that we have.